Constitution. It tells us that we the people have
Hello,
the power.
America, and welcome to Season 1, Episode 12 of the B Locke Show. If you're tuning in, thank you. Today, we're going to talk about the story of Jacob Blake, the young man who was shot in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Today, our episode will be focused around Jacob Blake, the man who was recently shot by police in the back with his kids in the car in Kenosha, Wisconsin. We'll also talk about the man from Illinois that was charged with killing 2 protesters in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Also, the Milwaukee Bucks boycotted their game today in protest of the shooting of Jacob Blake. And finally, we'll try to end on a positive note with the brand new Marvel's Avengers trailer coming out next Friday. Let's get started. So I want to talk about this story because it's very disappointing that in the midst of this Black Lives Matter movement, we are still having black men and women be shot or brutalized by the police. The story goes that Jacob Blake was actually trying to stop an argument between 2 women. The police were called, and for some reason, the police turned their attention to Jacob Blake. Jacob Blake walked to his car. Keep in mind, there were children in the car. He walked to his car, and a cop pulled on the back of his shirt and shot him 7 times. Keep in mind that he did not commit a crime, nor was he a threat, nor did he have a weapon in the car. I'm going to show you the video of what happened, and I just want you to keep in mind that this is a disturbing video, but it's just a daily reminder of what we in the African American community, constantly go through.
The National Guard is deploying tonight after protests broke out over video showing police shooting a black man, Jacob Blake, in the back multiple times. Gabe Gutierrez has the story and a warning: it is disturbing.
Tonight, there's growing outrage over this video showing at least 2 police officers in Kenosha, Wisconsin with their guns drawn following 29-year-old Jacob Blake as he walks around the front of a gray SUV. We've paused the video after he opens the door with his back to an officer. At least 7 shots can be heard.
Why were you shooting my child like that so many times?
Police say they were originally responding to a domestic incident. It's unclear what occurred right before the recording, and the video only captures a few seconds before the shooting. Rayshawn White was the eyewitness who recorded it. He asked us not to show his face to protect his privacy, but told us that he saw Blake trying to break up an argument between 2 women at the scene.
I was shocked. I had no idea they was going to shoot him.
He says he heard the officer tell Blake, "Drop the knife," but he didn't see a knife. Blake's fiancée, LaQuisha Booker, was also there. She says their children were in the car.
That man literally just grabbed him by his shirt and looked the other way and was just shooting him with the kids in the back screaming.
Overnight, protests over the shooting here escalated. The violence spread across parts of downtown Kenosha. This car dealership torched. Wisconsin's Department of Justice is investigating, saying the officers are fully cooperating and are now on administrative leave. The Kenosha Police Union asked that you withhold prejudgment about the incident and please let the process take place. But the state's lieutenant governor already had strong words.
This was not an accident. This wasn't bad police work. This felt like some sort of vendetta being taken out on a member of our community.
I've been thinking about this story all week. As a teacher, I had to start school this week, and it was very tough to focus on teaching, knowing that another black man lost his life for no reason. The B Locke Show supports the Black Lives Matter movement. We are against police brutality. We are for racial justice and equality. And we need these cops to stop killing us. Take us seriously. Our lives matter. I've been upset. I've been enraged. It's been hard to focus because I just know that I could be the next Jacob Blake, or the next George Floyd, or the next Ahmaud Arbery, or the next Trayvon Martin, or the next Breonna Taylor, or the next Alton Sterling. and on and on and on. We need help. We need this to stop. Black Lives Matter. As you can assume, America, protests erupted in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Protesters clashed with the police, and unfortunately, violence took place. Kyle Rittenhouse of Antioch, Illinois, was arrested and charged with shooting 3 people, killing 2. He actually was able to walk the streets with his assault rifle and even brag to the cops about what he had did.
Good afternoon, I'm Brad Edwards.
And I'm Erica Sargent. His name is Kyle Rittenhouse. The 17-year-old now arrested following a horrifying attack in Kenosha captured on cell phone video. The shooting happened during the 3rd night of unrest there following the police shooting of Jacob Blake. Rittenhouse is from Antioch, Illinois. That's about 1 hour north of Chicago and about 15 miles from Kenosha.
We have team coverage of the deadly shootings, including new steps to stop the violence in Kenosha. But first, CBS 2 investigator Megan Hickey live at Vernon Hills, where the suspected gunman is being held. Megan.
Brad and Erica, 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse was taken into custody this morning in Antioch. He was brought here to the Lake County Juvenile Detention Facility, where he's awaiting extradition back to Wisconsin. Social media videos captured last night in Kenosha show a young man armed with a long gun. Today, police and court records identified him as 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse. The videos appear to show him fatally shooting 2 people. We're not going to show the most graphic videos here, but want to warn our viewers that even what we are showing is difficult to watch. One person is shot, and then another. This morning, Kenosha County authorities issued an arrest warrant charging him with first-degree intentional homicide. The video from last night appears to show him walking past the police responding to the scene without being taken into custody, and then saying he works at a business nearby. But court records indicate that Rittenhouse is a lifeguard at a YMCA in Lindenhurst. And tonight we're learning more about one of the 2 people killed last night. He is 26-year-old Anthony Huber, who lived in Silver Lake, Wisconsin. His partner says he was the smartest, kindest man she ever knew. That second victim is a 36-year-old from Kenosha. Now Rittenhouse's extradition hearing is scheduled for Friday.
I think it's disgusting that this person was able to walk around with his rifle and brag about killing other people. Also, I just want to point out the fact that if that would have been a black man, he would have been shot within seconds. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Moving on. So in continuing with the story of Jacob Blake, the Milwaukee Bucks have boycotted their game against the Orlando Magic in protest of the killing of Jacob Blake.
As you can see, we all thank you guys for taking upon your time to stay here with us. We're sorry that it took a little bit more time, but we thought it would be best for us as a team to brainstorm a little bit, educate ourselves, and not rush into having raw emotion, giving you guys things like that. So on behalf of ourselves and our team, we're going to place a statement as a team today and go back and continue to educate ourselves and get better awareness of what's going on, and then speak to you guys later. So we're going to come up with a statement now.
Our team statement, the past 4 months have shed a light on the ongoing racial injustices facing our African American community. Citizens around the country have used their voices and platforms to speak out against these wrongdoings. Over the last few days in our home state of Wisconsin, we've seen the horrendous video of Jacob Blake being shot in the back 7 times by a police officer in Kenosha, and the additional shooting of protesters. Despite the overwhelming plea for change, there has been no action. So our focus today cannot be on basketball.
When we take the court and represent Milwaukee and Wisconsin, we are expected to play at a high level, give maximum effort, and hold each other accountable. We hold ourselves to that standard, and in this moment, we are demanding the same from lawmakers and law enforcement. We are calling for justice for Jacob Blake and demand the officers be held accountable. For this to occur, it is imperative for the Wisconsin State Legislature to reconvene after months of inaction and take up meaningful measures to address issues of police accountability, brutality, and criminal justice reform. We encourage all citizens to educate themselves, take peaceful and responsible action, and remember to vote on November 3rd on behalf of the Milwaukee Bucks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys
had to finish. A Bucks statement read by Sterling Brown and George Hill. And this statement came from Bucks ownership. Mark Lazary, Wes Edens, and Jamie Dinan, quote, "We fully support our players in the decision they made. Although we did not know beforehand, we would have wholeheartedly agreed with them. The only way to bring about change is to shine a light on the racial injustices that are happening in front of us. Our players have done that, and we will continue to stand alongside them and demand accountability and change."
When asked, George Hill said that they are tired of the killings and the injustice. I think that this is an awesome move by the Milwaukee Bucks. Not only was this game boycotted, but the NBA actually postponed the rest of their games. Other leagues have taken suit, as the Milwaukee Brewers have also boycotted their game as well. I think that this is going to start something really great, because when people start losing things that they really enjoy due to injustice, they'll pay more attention to it. And I just want to give kudos to the Milwaukee Bucks for starting this. Before I move to our last segment, I just want to give my final thoughts on the Jacob Blake story. As a black man myself, it's this type of story that made me start the B Locke Show in the first place. I know that I could be a Jacob Blake at any time. And these things have been happening for a long time. And I'm glad that it is now at the forefront of the national attention. But it still disappoints me that this is still happening. To the African American community, please keep protesting, please keep fighting, and please stay strong. I know that the fact that this keeps happening can be disappointing and discouraging, but we need to keep the good fight because Black Lives Matter. So I'd like to end on a positive note. In episode 2, when I was just getting started, I showed you guys a trailer for Marvel's Avengers. A final trailer was just put out for the game, as it releases next week, Friday, September 4th. And I want to show you this trailer in a better form so you can actually see how awesome it is. Check it out.
I've replayed that day in my head 1,000 times. The Avengers take the fall despite saving the day. We failed him. I believe that we are dangerous.
There's still a bad guy out there who wants to hurt the world. You're already a hero. The only one left to convince is yourself. We can stop him.
Yeah, now we're talking?
All units, find the girl.
People believe in the Avengers. Your differences are your greatest superpower. No matter how bad things get, you always come together. Aren't you gonna say the thing?
What?
Avengers assemble.
Look out for Marvel's Avengers, coming out on PS4, Xbox, and PC, September 4th. This concludes Season 1, Episode 12 of the B Locke Show. As always, I appreciate the love and support. Please continue to follow, like, and comment. As always, stay safe, stay informed, stay united. Have a good night, America.